In keeping with the theme, everyone deserves a chance to play, would Raymond White of the Cheryl White Project please make your way to the stage as we learn the story of Cheryl White, thanks to New York Times reporter Sarah Maslin-Neer. We found a unique opportunity to provide the Cheryl White Project with a Jack Herrick Youth Sports Grant and honor Cheryl for her remarkable career in the world of horse racing. Sarah and Cheryl's brother Raymond co-authored the book The Jockey and Her Horse, which you will find at each of your seats. Please direct your attention to the video screens as we learn more about the Cheryl White Project and to celebrate 2024 Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame inductee, the late Cheryl White.
Moving along strongly out on
When Cheryl White galloped onto the racetrack, she didn't consider herself a trailblazer.
NBR Secret Cash and Sticks, NBR Secret Cash.
But she was. America's first black female jockey was at the top of her game. However, this would be her last race on July 25th, 1991, at Los Alamitos Racecourse in Cypress, California. After capturing her final trophy, she quietly retired from horse racing with more than 750 career wins and many coveted awards, a stellar career.
I think a big highlight was retiring a winner.
Cheryl first made history at Thistledown Racino on June 15, 1971, when she broke color barriers, becoming the first licensed black jockey in America in her home state of Ohio. She was 17 years old, 5'3", 107 pounds, and sat astride her father, Raymond Sr.'s horse, Ace Reward. Under her father's tutelage, she went on to win her first race later that year, on September 2, 1971, at Waterford Park in New Cumberland, West Virginia. Over the years, Cheryl continued to break barriers, making headlines and receiving accolades from around the globe in a sport that has been slow and late to fully celebrate the contributions of blacks and women.
I didn't really feel that pressure, so to speak, because not being cocky, but I knew I was good and I knew I was capable and I could ride with or better than a lot of the men.
Yet and still throughout her decades-long career, she remained vastly unknown despite achieving and earning big wins on the racetrack. Her family members said she put it out of her mind and continued to race, but deep down it bothered her until the day she died. Cheryl suffered a heart attack in 2019 at the age of 65. After her death, Cheryl's brother, Raymond White Jr., spoke about some of what ailed her.
The sexism thing was huge. I mean, female jockeys were being yelled at, told to go home. What are you doing out here? Eventually, she stopped talking about those things. If you see later on interviews with her, she was basically like, I haven't faced any real racism or sexism. And it was almost like somebody told her to be quiet.
But he and Cheryl's family are speaking out loud, setting the record once and for all that Cheryl made a path that was all hers, a legend in her own right. In 2021, Raymond Jr. got a call from New York Times reporter Sarah Maslin-Neer, who wanted to know more about his sister. The two partnered and co-authored a children's book released in 2023, The Jockey and Her Horse, inspired by Cheryl White. Raymond Jr. and the family also created the Cheryl White Project to, quote, ensure that the legacy of America's first black female jockey doesn't get lost to bygone memories. Her family now beating the path where she left off, trying to restake her place in horse racing glory.
The time was right. So we've done a lot, and we're not done. So that's the whole thing. We're not done, and we're not done, and we're not done.
If you can do well and make the best of that opportunity and you do good, and then things fall into place. It's in my blood.
Please welcome Raymond White Jr.
Well, That was a little pretty emotional for me, I'll tell you. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. We're honored to be here. We're honored that Cheryl's being honored in this way, it's been a long time coming, and we thank everybody here for bringing her just, I mean, we're speechless to the point of, remember my sister, you know, she was very humble. She didn't speak about herself. She never talked about herself. I was always her biggest fan. And on behalf of my team at the Cheryl White Project, I'm deeply honored to accept this grant. It would be a great help as we come into 2025 and begin our mission to bring disadvantaged youth face to face with horses in the many facets of horse racing. The funds will allow us to begin creating a safe and supportive environment where young people can finally engage with racehorses, build confidence, develop life skills such as discipline and empathy and responsibility. Through our partnerships with local stables, racetracks, horse racing professionals, we aim to provide free access to riding lessons, mentorship programs, and educational workshops created in-house alongside our partners. This grant will help us in our efforts to ensure that our program is accessible to those who need it most. By showing and teaching them about Cheryl's journey against all odds, as well as the rich history of African Americans in horse racing. We hope this will help to inspire a whole new generation of horsemen, women who would otherwise never even know these opportunities existed. Whether you're a jockey, a trainer, a breeder, owner, veterinarian, farrier, racing official, or other leadership role, we intend on guiding these kids to connect them with others in this industry. Cheryl, it's been a heck of a journey with the book. Sarah Maslin-Neer contacted me. You know, we want to do a movie, a documentary, and she's just been, I'm sorry she's not here tonight. She has a big event in New York City tomorrow, and scheduling just wouldn't allow her to be here. We wanted her here so bad. But as we move forward, we want to make sure there's a support network for kids through the entire way they eventually become a part of, with ongoing education, a hands-on experience, college scholarships, and apprenticeships. We hope to help usher in the beginning of returning African-American horsemen to the prominence they once achieved that built the foundation of the sport of kings. My father was a trainer for 60 years. Bob Railbird Roberts here knew my father well. When I had a conversation with him one time when Cheryl was in the hospital, he told me, he says, yeah, your dad galloped horses in tennis shoes. I said, well, if you knew my dad galloped racehorses in tennis shoes, you really knew my dad. So he didn't wear cowboy boots or nothing like that. I still don't know how my dad did that. But so we come from a horse racing family. And it's been 122 years since a black jockey won the Kentucky Derby. Jimmy Winkfield in 1902, and only 3 black trainers have had interest in the Derby since 1944. When Cheryl's father, my father, our father, had a horse he trained to run in the Derby, his second was he ran 2 horses in the Kentucky Derby. His first was in 1932. He was age 29, and his next one was in 1944. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but we have some wonderful partners in this industry, and we are working with and hope to continue growing in 2025 and beyond with this support and help of people like you in this room. Tonight, we can do it. We can't do it without you. Thank you again for believing in our mission. Together, we can make a lasting impact on the lives of young people and empower them to thrive. And that's what we intend to do in the name of Cheryl and make her legend continue. So thank you very much, everybody.